Hey everybody, welcome back. We're plugging away on this 59, man, trying to get her done. We are about to get past this roof finally. Check it out. This is what I've been doing. We went ahead and got rid of all the old bodywork, put in our own new bodywork. If you guys watched a couple videos ago, we stripped the roof down, but we left a lot of the red oxide primer on it. Well, I've gone back since then and I've completely stripped this roof down to bare metal. I've gone back, I've done all my bodywork, fixed a few little dents and dings here and there. Other than that, she's super straight. I did all of this with my DA, and now what I'm doing is I'm going back over it with my little palm sander. This is what it'll look like when I'm done. Can you tell it's a really dull finish, whereas over here it's a little more shiny. All right, well, I'm trying to make the whole thing dull like that, and I've already gone over this whole half of the roof. And now we're going over this half. After that, we're gonna clean it up and we're gonna mask it off and we're gonna start spraying finally. I've been promising you guys a spray video and I think it's high time we get this thing sprayed. We don't wanna leave it in bare metal anyway. So I'm just gonna buzz over this whole thing and it'll be ready. All right, so that takes care of that. I think it's all ready. I mean, it feels really good. Blow some of this dust off. We'll get it all wiped down really well, and then we'll move on to the next step. So somebody in the comment section was asking if we still use a thing called nitro stand in the body shop, and the answer is yes, we absolutely do. For those of you that don't know, that is just a spot putty. Now this isn't nitro stand, but it's exactly the same thing, just a different brand. And all you do on this is what's so great about it. The reason painters like it is because it doesn't take but a few seconds for it to dry. And you barely even have to sand it. I mean, it is super, super easy to sand. Now, you don't want to do body work with this stuff. You know what I mean? In other words, we wouldn't try to fill a dent with this kind of stuff. This is just a spot putty. But check this out. Can you see that? That is a small little imperfection in my body work. And I know I'm just as shocked as you are, but it happens. Sometimes you get a little something going on there. Well, this is perfect for that. Check it out. Take your little razor blade and you just barely just wipe that in there. I mean, look at that. Just like that. And it's gone, you know? And I'll come back with my block and I will barely touch that spot and that will just disappear, and all you'll be left with is that little tiny little spot that you filled. You'll see the outline of it and that's it. It'll just be gone. And I'll show you that in just a few minutes. And just barely work this down, only take a few seconds. We'll do this in real time. All right. That's what I'm talking about right there. You see how you could just barely see where the low spot was? That's what I'm talking about. And look, I can't feel that anymore. That's going to prime in perfectly. And that only took a couple of seconds. So yeah, man, we still use nitro stand. That stuff is great. All right, so we got acetone on a rag. These are some lint-free paper towels. And check me out wearing gloves, being all professional and such. Now, I know you guys aren't used to me wearing gloves, but it's a good idea, man. You guys should put them on. I'm going to try to set a good example. So here we go. I want you guys to see just how dirty this rag gets just in a few seconds. So you want to constantly flip that rag around. We'll get all down in the channel, get it all wiped out really good. Get it all nice and clean. See, I'm starting to leave streaks. Well, time to flip the rag. So the roof is nice and clean now. I mean, look at that. That is freaking nice. Far cry from where we started, am I right? Nice, clean metal. We didn't even have to sandblast it. So what am I doing now? Well, I'm running around here with some masking tape, and basically we're just gonna go like all around these edges. We're just gonna back tape. And I've already done the other side, so I'm gonna kind of show you exactly what we're doing. I'm just getting in here behind this lip, this flange that the windshield goes in, and I'm just putting my tape sticky side out. I'm just going all the way around the frame. And then up here on the drip rail, I'm just running right underneath the rail. I'm gonna fold the tape down. This is sticky side out. And I'll run that all the way down and then across the back windshield, just the same as the front windshield. And then we'll drape our plastic over it, and we'll cut the roof out, and all that will be exposed is the roof. Everything else will be protected under the plastic, and we won't get overspray all over everything. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna get that knocked out right quick. Let's show you guys, real fast, common sense. I know you guys don't need me to show you this stuff, but in case you wanted to see it. Very simple. Just tuck your tape in behind there like that. Leave the sticky side out and just do that all the way around. I mean, it makes the masking so easy. That plastic's fairly cheap, and it sure beats newspaper any day. All right, so here's the plastic that we're using. Big old roll, 400 feet long. It's a little narrower than I like, but this is all they had. They were out of the wider stuff, but we'll make it work. Once you get enough rolled out, just come through here and trim it off, of course. Then we can start spreading it out. This plastic kind of unfolds up from under itself like that and pulls out, for those of you guys that don't know. Once you get it pulled out like that, you could kind of go back up in here like that. You see how I'm catching that tape now? And that's what we want to do all the way across there, catch that tape. And then we can come back and trim it back out. Same thing on the sides. You want to get it out here and try to get as many of those wrinkles out as you can. Catch the tape, and it'll look like this other side over here. This is what you want when you're done. See how it's stuck to the tape all the way down, and then I'll come in behind and we'll trim it out like so, right? Try not to cut through the tape. And then there you have it. We'll be able to come in and paint all of this, but from here down will be masked off. Very simple process. Saves you a lot of time. A lot faster than running a bunch of newspaper all over everything. Pretty much done with this one side. Just wanted to kind of show you what we're doing here. See how we're just kind of trimming around all the edges and then exposing the actual surface that we're going to be spraying, and then everything else is left masked off. So easy little process, like I said. Super quick. I mean, I could mask all this off, have everything ready in, I don't know, 15 minutes. Not too bad. Maybe 25 minutes if you count all the time of what it took to put the tape on. So still not bad at all. This car's big, remember? All right, so that takes care of that. And there we go. We are ready to paint. We've already wiped everything down with our cleaner. You remember that we wiped everything down with the acetone. Now all we got to do is just tack it off with our tack cloth and mix up some primer. So here we go. All right, so here's the primer we're going to use. This is going to prime the roof in and get it all ready to block out. And this is always fun, you guys, when you get your primer and you open it up and you find all of that. Good times. All right, so we got a lot of stirring to do. A lot of stirring. I'll be at this for a while. Man, I don't know. I may have to trade the stirring stick in for a 2x4. This is definitely exceeding the workload of this stick. All right, let's get her all tacked off here. Now that we're all tacked off, we're ready for a coat of Self-Etch Primer. And you know what, you guys? I screwed up. I forgot to buy Self-Etch Primer. I meant to grab a couple quarts of it. I think that'd be enough to get us through this whole project. But unfortunately, I'll have to go back and get some. But I do have a can, a shaker can full, and I think this will be more than enough to do the roof. You just want to put it on super lightly, like so. Just kind of fog it on there. We don't want full coverage. We want to still be able to see through it, and we don't want it on our bodywork. You just want to go around your bodywork and just kind of fog it on here. Just like so, look. Very, very lightly. We're not going for full coverage, like I said. And we'll just go around the edge of our bodywork just like that. And we're going to do that over the whole roof, minus the spots where the bodywork is, like I said. And then that's all we need. We just need it to look just like that. You can actually still see right through it, and that's it. That's all you want. And I'll tell you what, you guys, we got so lucky. We had just enough. I mean, just enough. Yeah, that's it. All right, cool. Well, that saved the day right there. I thought I had another can of that floating around, but I guess not. All right, so back to this mess. Yeah, still staring. It's getting better, though. All right, let's see here. Oh, that feels way better. I don't feel anything stuck to the bottom anymore. Yeah, I'd say we're about good. So we're going to do a 4-to-1 mixture of our 2K primer. This is a primer surfacer, so it's kind of a build. We'll do 3 medium coats of this, build it up a little bit, and then we'll have something to block back down, get down past all the little imperfections and waves and things like that. Make it look nice and straight when we're done. Like I said, 4-to-1 mixture. So here's our cup. We're going to go to the 4-to-1 section, which is right here. And let me get my primer here. I already poured some out into a cup so it wouldn't be so messy on camera. So here we go. Let's get it in there. We're going to go up to the number 4. All right, there we go. See, all I did there, for you guys that don't know, I filled it right up to this bottom number 4 here, and then what we'll do is we'll go up to the next number 4. Remember, we're going 4-to-1, so we'll go 4 here, and then we'll go up to the next number 4 there with our activator. Now, without this, the stuff will never dry, so don't want to forget that. Let's go. There we go. I want just a hair pass, but that's okay. That will work. Let's get this all stirred up. We'll start spraying. Get the lid on there. Okay, so there's coat number 1, laid down nice and smooth. I had a little bit of water drip over here somewhere. There it was, right there. Yep. All right, so this is what I did. Let me find it. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Put me a little filter on there. Let's see if that'll help keep that from happening this next round. So I'm gonna let this flash off for just a few minutes. Wait till it dries, turns kind of a dull look. We don't want it to be shiny. And then when it's actually dry to the touch, that'll be when we hit it with the next coat. We're gonna put 3 coats in all. Let's do coat number 2. So this is after 2 coats, 2 medium wet coats. And man, look how smooth it's getting. Very, very smooth. So much better than it was. This is great. This is going to block out really nice. And I'm going to put 1 more medium wet coat on it, and then we're going to call it good. I'll go ahead and hit this up with our guide coat here. And for those of you who don't know, the guide coat just gives us something to sand back off later. If there's any black left, you'll know that that's a low spot and that you need to add some material there, whether it be filler or whatever. So we'll get all that sanded back off in the morning. We want to let our primer sit up overnight. It's getting kind of late anyway. So we'll get the other side done, and I'm gonna call it a night. Oh, and hey, the orange little filter there caught the water, took care of the water issue, so no more drips. All right, so it's the next morning. Check it out, man. Get a better look at it out here in the sunlight. Very, very smooth. Loving it. Can't see where any of the bodywork was. This all should block out really nice. All right, so this is what I've got going on here. Just an assortment of blocks, from short, medium to longer. And man, they make even longer ones than that. I've seen blocks down here like, what, 3 feet long. Perfect for a panel this size, that's for sure. I was always told you want to use a block that fits the panel you're working on. And I'll tell you, this is probably about one of the biggest panels you'll ever work on. So you're going to want, you could easily get away with the biggest blocks they make. I think this will do fine. I think that'll get us straight enough. This is going to be a white roof. White is the most forgiving color. So if it's not like show quality, it won't matter. You won't really see it. It'll be fine. So let's get started on it. Like I said, 320 grit. We're going to start breaking this down. We're going to sand in our crosshatch patterns like we always do. For those of you guys that don't know, we're just going to go this way and then this way, and we're going to sand all of that black guide coat off that we put on last night. And when it's all back to gray with no black, you know you got it right. So I've got one section done. I wanted to show you guys something. This is why we use the guide coat, for those of you that don't know. I mean, look at this. Let's get this kind of squeegeed off. You can use anything that's soft as a squeegee. I'm just using my soft block here, kind of squeegee this off. Let's look and see if you can see it. There are some little speckles of black paint here and there. You see it here and there. Over here at the edge of my work area, you can see what's going on here. Look, see the black? And then you get over here and it starts to go away. A few more passes and all of the black speckles will go away, and then we're down to a nice uniform finish, and that's what we're looking for, and that's what we're going to do over the whole thing. This is what I'm using so far, 320 grit on a block, and I know you should be using a longer block, and look, we got those right here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm kind of taking this one, just getting in there, kind of breaking it all down real nice, and once I get it to this point to where we just barely have any of the black left, I'll switch over to the long blocks and we'll go over this whole thing Cool deal. I'm really liking the way this is going. Don't worry about, I know some of you guys comment about the water and, hey man, ain't that gonna cause more rust? Well, this is all sealed up. I mean, this is sealed up tight. Even in here where the two panels, one panel lays on top of the other panel, that Eastwood got in there, man, and sealed that right up, man. Nothing is going in there at this point. It is nice and sealed up. So we'll keep continuing on doing what we're doing. We're gonna go over the whole roof. We're about 1/4 of the way there. So it's coming along. You guys remember how rough this drip rail channel was when we first started? If any of you guys missed those videos when we first started this project, go back and check it out, man. This drip rail molding was horrible. It was solid rust from one end to the other, and it just keeps getting smoother and smoother the more we mess with it. And like I said, there will be a layer of seam seal that we'll put over this once we get it worked down. And that'll finish sealing it up. I mean, but you can see that is sealed up already. That is just looking better all the time. Nice and smooth down in that channel. Man, I cannot wait to get a nice coat of sealer on there and start hitting it with our color. Oh man, this roof is gonna look so nice. It's a big roof, you know, so we wanted it to be straight. So this is what we started out with. I wish you could feel it. It's just a rough texture, you know, as you can imagine when you first spray out primer. It's not gonna be super smooth. I mean, it feels fine, don't get me wrong. But then when you get over here and it's just like, whoa, so much better, so freaking smooth. I mean, that feels like paint. That's how smooth that feels. So we'll get on the rest of this, get the rest of it knocked down. We're about, I'd say just slightly over halfway, and we probably got about, I'd say 1.5 hours into blocking that side. So we'll get started on this side, see if we can't get it done any quicker. Ran a little tape and some paper around just to kind of keep everything nice and clean. I want a nice straight edge down inside of there for my seam seal. Show you how I did it around the front here. I didn't want to fill the entire channel full of seam seal when all it needs is just right at that edge. There's a slight little channel about 1/8 of an inch wide where this panel lays on top of this panel. So that's all we're really needing to seal is that. And you don't want to get too much stuff built up in here because then our molding won't want to click back on properly. So let me show you. I already did the other side. Let me show you how it turned out. Here's the other side. Already got it nice straight line going through there for the seam seal. And that's all we're needing to seal on the front. And then come around here. Here's our drip rail. Check it out. It turned out pretty nice and smooth. Nice straight edge. Thin, you know, you want it thin. Less is more. You don't want to build this stuff up super thick. It'll shrink and crack and come loose. And that's kind of what they had going on the first time. They had it full, like, I mean, the whole channel was full. So of course it peeled and came loose later. This is all I'm using. This is my seam seal made by TransStar. It's kind of a beige color as you've seen, and there's the number for it. Says that you could put it over bare metal, primer, paint, whatever, so that's what we need. Fast curing. I mean, in fact, that other side over there is already mainly dry. I mean, it's basically completely dry. So, and I just put it on there a few minutes ago. So it does act really fast. Remember, less is more. We don't want to build up too much thickness going on here. Take my little acid brush here, kind of come through here. Want to kind of work it down into that channel where those two layers, where that layer sits on top of the other layer. So I like to kind of work it back and forth like that. With paper towel, kind of wipe the edge of it here. Get the excess off of there. That way our molding will click back on. We won't have to worry about it. Now, something else you'll have to do on this pretty quickly, because it does dry fast, is you're going to have to come along here and get your masking off of there. Otherwise, when you go to pull your tape, you'll pull up that edge where the tape meets the seam seal, and you definitely don't want that. So we'll go ahead and we'll just pull this up right to where we left off, right there. And then we'll pick up where we left off. So this is basically how I've been doing the drip rail. Just working a few feet at a time, basically stopping where the two doors meet in the middle there. Couple passes through here. Get my brush. We'll get this worked back and forth into this channel. Want to make sure that we get it down in that little 1/8 inch gap that we were talking about on the front. It has the same situation down both sides here on this drip rail. You definitely want to seal that up nice. All right, we'll stop about right there. All right, so this is our next section here. Switch to a new brush. Be prepared to use numerous brushes on this, because that stuff does dry rather quickly, and once your brush gets all gummed up, you're going to start leaving some really ugly brush marks. So you don't want that. Here we go, man. It don't take but a few times back and forth. Get that work down in there really nice. Okay. Let's set that over here on that paper. Get it out of the way. Look what happened, you guys. After all that trouble of running paper down both sides and all that, I still ended up with a big glob of seam seal on the roof. I don't know, whatever. But I'll let that dry and just peel it right off of there. We better get this off of here before it has time to set up, because it does happen pretty quickly. There we go. Look at that. That looks nice, Mom. That's fun to watch. Look at that. All right, let's get this last little bit here. Smooth out that edge. Yeah, like that. Okay, I'm gonna stop messing with it. Let's get this tape off of here. We'll go through and wipe off any mess we might have. The stuff is messy. Look at that, even though I ran that tape on there, look how messy it still gets. That's okay, just come through here with your lacquer thinner. Kind of wipe that off a little bit. It sets up faster, you gotta catch it. Let's get this mess cleaned up right here. There we go. All right, let's get up here and check it out. I think that's gonna work out just fine. Once it's all painted white, it's gonna look great. So, man, the roof's turning out really good. I'll probably give this a once over with some 600 grit with that long block like we had talked about. And that, I mean, after that, it's good to go. I mean, I could probably paint it the way it is right here. This looks very nice, very smooth. I don't feel anything. I don't even feel any. It doesn't feel wavy or anything. So awesome, awesome. We're gonna have to let the seam seal. I'm gonna let it sit overnight. It's kind of cool tonight. It's supposed to get down to like 60 degrees. So better let that go ahead and set up. I'll wait and I'll peel that guy off tomorrow. That's upsetting. Whatever. I can't wait to start spraying paint, you guys. But hey, I wanted to throw a video out for you guys of spraying something, because I know we've been spending a lot of time de-trimming this thing. It's just trim for days. I can't help it, you know. But anyway, we're getting her tore down, and we're kind of working from the roof down. We're still kind of waiting on our Eastwood products to come in from Eastwood. They're going to give us some stuff to get up inside of those rocker panels. In case you guys are just joining us, we've got some rust issues down there, and excuse me, we're gonna have to get inside of there, and the stuff they're sending us is just for that. So, and of course I gotta patch this stuff, but before I could cover that up, we gotta fix what's inside of here, this inner structure. This is a bad area, and we're gonna get it straightened out. So I'm gonna make another trip down to the paint supply, and we're gonna pick up some of that ivory white paint. I can't wait to get that on there. It's going to be fun. Next video, I think we're going to be spraying some paint, you guys. I want to get the roof done. I want to get past that, get on down here. I'll probably jump ahead, you guys. I'm not even going to lie. I think I'll probably get in here and just knock this whole side out just to make some progress. I won't bore you guys with all of that, but I will come back, show you the respraying of the roof. We'll get it painted. And of course, all of our rust repair, we'll do a lot of, we'll focus a lot of attention on that area, believe me. But hey, don't forget my Instagram. There'll be a link in the description as always. And check me out on Facebook, Weirdbeard on Facebook. Friend request me, and I will. I'll accept your friend request. But anyway, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I really appreciate everybody watching. A lot of support on this one. You guys seem to be digging this series, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here. I appreciate everybody watching. I'll see you guys next time.